Well, it happened, guys. I'm officially one of those YouTubers who has to make a I'm sorry I'm late video. Episode 5 came out on a Friday and fucked up my schedule completely. The last 2 days, my body just decided to be sick. So here we are, Wednesday, with The Last of Us Episode 5 review. Let's get into it. Like I always say, no spoilers first for those who want to watch the show still. Quickly, I'm just going to say it. This is the best episode of the series so far. Every aspect of this episode works so well. The character arcs, as well as the story, are progressed exceptionally. As well, the pacing is kicked up a notch here. And not just like a notch, it's kicked up like fucking 1,000%. We get the first of this show's truly epic episodes, with amazing choreographed action sequences that only complement the show's heart. This one will have you leaping out of your chair, which I actually did, but also squeezing your face in raw emotion. Yeah, this is not an easy episode to watch. But to further explore that, let's get into spoilers. The Last of Us Episode 5 continues almost directly after Episode 4, excluding a 10-minute sequence showing the beloved Henry and Sam and their brief backstory. We're quickly introducing these characters and what their journey has been like so far, and this was really excellently done. There are a couple changes here that I think work exceptionally well. First were some changes to Sam, making him younger and deaf. These changes don't have much impact on the story itself. Like, I thought him being deaf would somehow play into them getting caught or getting in trouble, like in a quiet place sort of way, but those things don't happen. Now, that doesn't make these changes bad. It still creates some very nice emotional and character beats. I just think this episode would have been great with or without these changes. The other, more prominent change was changing Henry and Sam's backstory. Instead of being more randomly hunted by some crazed looters, Henry actually has some connection to Kathleen, causing her to desperately want to hunt him down. This is where I think this episode is a masterclass of writing. The foreshadowing done in this episode in multiple different characters is fucking phenomenal. Of course, the biggest change here being Henry revealing to Joel that the reason he's being hunted was that he sold out Kathleen's brother to Fedra in exchange for medicine to treat his brother's illness, leukemia. I see some people saying that Joel's reaction here is more a response of I can relate to what you're saying in terms of like tests. And I don't think that's what it is. I don't think that's what it is at all. I think this more is foreshadowing and gonna lend hand to some of Joel's future decisions for those who have played the game and know about the hospital scene. Loved it. Terrific writing in this episode, HBO. Two other standout character beats for me both have to do with Ellie's growth. It isn't being talked about much, but Ellie's growth in this episode was fantastic. She went through a lot of changes here. By the time the tragic end rolls around, we really see her starting to shape into this cold, dark world that she's living in, which is coincidentally breaking Joel's heart. Those two moments are when Ellie wipes her blood on Sam's wound or his bite, hoping to stop his infection. Now, this scene really shows how important it is to Ellie that her blood does help people. Which is, again, is going to foreshadow that emotional response to finding out what Joel did. It's going to lend a big hand to that, I think, especially in season 2. The other great scene that shows some great change for Ellie and great character beats is where she tucks away her emotion like she's been told to do at the funeral scene. The weight of this world is finally crushing down on her. Ellie's development in this episode is just flawless. It's so good. We all saw the trailer. We all know the bloater was coming, but holy shitballs did I not expect it to be this fucking awesome. The climax plays out surprisingly like the game does, with that sniper sequence that Joel has to sneak around the houses. I really didn't expect them to put that in because it's a very gamey sequence, but they did, and they did a good job with it. Last week, I made a comment that the violence was a little too toned down for me in this show, and this one kind of starts the same way. Like when Joel kills this guy, when he kills the sniper, we cut away again, and I'm just like, stop cutting away. It's The Last of Us, and the show totally 180s and shows all kinds of violence. The action is so well done here. It's even better than the game, to be honest. Now, this moment, I have to say, literally made me shit my pants because we saw the trailer, we thought the car is going to get pulled in the ground and just the bloater is going to come up. I did not expect this horde of ant-like infected just to like bolt out of there like that, man. I pissed myself. That was scary. Speaking of scary, the bloater himself was fantastic, even throwing in an execution from the game. I loved that. But This little bitch right here. Holy shit, whoever decided to make clicker children, you're a horrible person. How your mind works in a way that nobody's mind should work. That is the scariest goddamn thing I've ever seen. That was fucking terrifying and it paid off so well. And I think what they're doing is saving the really violent moments for sequences like this so that they really pay off. Because holy shit, did this sequence pay off? This sequence was incredible. It is everything and more that I wanted out of this show. This episode was perfectly paced. It was captivating all the way through. It was entertaining all the way through. What I find a lot of people forget is that in a TV series, as a whole season or as a whole series, you have much more time to build your world and tell your story. But they forget that individual episodes still need to have all those beats. They need the beginning, the middle, the end. They need the character beats, the story arcs, the pacing. It's a very complicated thing to write because your whole series needs pacing, then all your individual episodes need pacing. And people tend to forget that. And this episode I thought was just, out of all the ones we've gotten, the most perfect in that realm. It got all these elements of writing an episodic series perfect. Just to piss off all those people that didn't like my Last of Us episode 3 review, this episode also shows perfectly why the Bill and Frank backstory was too long. We got a bit of backstory here with Henry and Sam in like 10-15 minutes. It gave us all the emotional beats we needed to know who they are, and why we need to care. And we did care. And then also how they're connected to Joel. And it did it so fast. So everyone's been mad at me for bringing that up again. But I just found it ironic that HBO proved themselves wrong. Oh, and while we're talking about things I didn't like, what the fuck is this shot? The shot had no business being here. At the end of the day, the best episode of the show so far. A masterclass in writing and pacing of an episodic series. So did you watch episode 5 of The Last of Us? I'm sure you have, because I'm super late and I actually went fairly off script for this one if I sound different, because I wanted to get it up. But if you agree or disagree, nonetheless, comment below and tell me why. If you're pissed that I brought up the episode 3 issue again, tell me why. Thanks for clicking on my face again, guys. Always appreciated. The channel is growing fairly well, considering it just started in the new year. Very much appreciated of everybody. But if you want to keep supporting, we can keep doing well, then like, subscribe, share this with a friend. Anything's appreciated. See you guys Monday, hopefully, for The Last of Us episode 6. Thanks.